This is Matt Russell, and welcome to the Daily FX Forum.
So here are the 5 pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, the Euro Swiss, as well as the Euro Aussie. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. You should still all be in this trade, which was short from 88.23 with a stop at 88.75. As I mentioned during last week, prices did rally a little bit, got up to about the 88 figure, and then reversed course. And again, I would stay short, keep that stop at 88.75, as that 88.40 area should be formidable resistance over the next several weeks or even months. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi, and I've actually added some channel lines connecting these two low points here and this high point and this potential high over here. I like this trade on the short side. Right now prices 26.72, so I'd go ahead and short right now 26.72 with a stop above the high of this candle, which is 27.19, so call it 27.30. So that would be short 26.72 with a stop at 127.30. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and not much has changed here. Again, still just trading the Euro Pound, and the Pound Swiss has been acting as the inverse, so I'm just going to go ahead and stay on the sidelines on this pair. The next chart is the Euro Swiss, and also not much has changed here. There is a bullish engulfing candle. I might have a tentative, very tentative, a slight, call it what you will, bullish bias against the low of that candle, which is 46.73, but I'm just going to stay on the sidelines here, and I want to see prices get above the low of this doji candle here and close above there, and that would be 47.21. So again, I'm just going to be on the sidelines. The last chart is the Euro Aussie, and not much has changed here either. Still looking for prices to come up to that 159 area, which should act as resistance. We could see it was the former support level, and it should act as resistance moving forward, but prices right now roughly about 300 pips away, so this trade could materialize later on in this week, but I do not see it foresee it happening within the next 24 to 48 hours, but I certainly will update during tomorrow's report. Again, my name is Matt Russell. Thanks for listening, and please stay tuned for a preview of the Daily FX Forums. I want to take this opportunity to formally welcome you all to the Daily FX Forums. I want to go through the process of how I personally access the forums and how maybe you at home, if you want to access the forums in the future, might do so. The first thing you would do is go to www.dailyfx.com, and that will bring up, obviously, dailyfx.com, and usually there on the upper right hand corner I'll go ahead and click on where it says forum, and that will bring up the first page of the forums. And this view, I personally don't use this view, but this view actually shows you the most recent posts on all the threads within the different sections and a little detail about those posts, so you can read through and see if there's something catches your interest. But personally, I go ahead and just click on forums and view them in the more traditional sense. Now, these are different threads within the forum. There's a section on education, such as Daily FX course instructor tips, which would be good for newer traders, and then for more advanced traders. And I just want to go ahead, personally, the way I use the forums is I would go through the individual threads, just looking for trade ideas, maybe looking at charts, looking at certain lines that maybe I didn't put up on my chart, but another trader might have put up on their chart. I tend to, shy away from using direct trade recommendations from other forum members, but it helps me to sort of even out my analysis, make sure that I'm seeing things, with the right mind in terms of, I might be missing stuff that other traders can see, and that's my personal way of using the forum. Every trader is going to be a little bit different in how they use it. So if you want to ask questions, if you want to become an active participant of the members, you would have to go ahead and register. So that's what I'm going to go through now, is the registration process. So assuming you're brand new to the forums, or maybe you've been here a few times and you're not really sure how it works, so I just want to walk through again the registration process. This would be the front page where you would access, or the previous page. You'd have the same little box here on the left hand side. My username and password are already filled out here, but assuming you're a new member, you would click on where it says register, and that will bring up the registration page. If you give me one moment here while my browser loads. And actually first we're going to have some terms of service and Daily FX forum rules. I do suggest reading through the forum rules. Obviously, profanity and spam and things like that are not allowed, but it also gives you insight on how to use the forum and how different traders can use it, in terms of their individual needs. So you would go down to the bottom there. You'd click on where it says I have read all the rules, and then you would go ahead to the register, the formal registration page, and that will bring up here. And you can go ahead and select the username, and how about we'll use 4x, and that name is already in use, so maybe add a few more x's there. Again, it really, your individual username is up to you, and you go ahead and fill in your password, your email address. Now, the most difficult aspect of registration for the Daily FX forums will be figuring out these letters in the box here. Now, I'm a semi-intelligent person, but I have a very difficult time figuring out which letters and numbers to use. Now, there is a reason for this madness. It helps with security, but I would suggest just going ahead and keep on clicking that refresh image until something comes through that you can actually identify and see. Then you can go ahead and enter your birthday, but you can decide whether or not to display that to other forum members. And then also, if you were referred by somebody, you can enter that information there. The time zone, that should default to your computer, but you should double check and make sure. And then you can opt in, and I would suggest opting in for these emails in terms if the administrators want to go ahead and send you some notices about the forum, and then you would complete registration. Now what happens is they would send you an email to the email address that you put up here, and that email will include a link, and all you would have to do is go ahead and click on that link, and that link will bring you inside the forum, and you would now be a member of the Daily FX forums. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thanks for listening.